never made mayonnaise before, and this bothers me. So today, join me as I, James, makes mayonnaise. Now, what I'll be showing you today is a combination of multiple sources that I've found across time and space that I've managed to conglomerate together into a recipe that you can understand. So first of all, for this recipe you are going to need mustard. Now, usually I tend to like English mustard, but you can use a wide variety of mustards if you want to. You can even use the Dijon mustard. That is a personal favourite of mine as well. However, I am a student right now, and I'm very poor. Lemon juice. Now, I'm not sure why I need lemon juice. And finally, for this next ingredient, you're going to want to get out your inner Uncle Sam because we're going to be using a lot of oil. Now, the recipe that I've been following kind of says that you don't want to use like any strong extra virgin olive oil, but instead you want to use like a Chad non-virgin one. So now usually I kind of freeball these kind of ingredients, mostly because I can't give a shit. But for this recipe, I've followed the kind of basic rule where for every 100 milliliters of oil you use, you add one. Alright then, and without further ado, I think that we should get started. Alright, so in terms of the other recipes I've used in the past, this one's quite heavy on utensils you need. You're going to want like a semi-large mixing bowl. You're going to want a whisk as well, or a fork. You can use a fork, however I'm getting a little bit fancy at the moment. And also something that can strain egg yolks out, and that's a very important step because with mayonnaise you only want to use the egg yolk. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to crack each egg individually out onto this and let it strain all of the egg white out. Sorry if this is a bit awkward, I'm just using one hand here. Okay, great. So what you want to do is you want to save all of this lovely egg white here. You don't want to get rid of it because it's, it's a waste to do that. You just, try to strain it out. Now, unfortunately, because this is not a free range, well, it is a free range egg, but it's quite an old one, so it's going to be quite gloopy, as you can see. It works better if you use the freshest eggs that you can possibly find. What am I basing this information on? Absolutely fucking nothing. Loop off there. Just spoon that off very carefully. Ooh. Oh, perfection. Alright, and now place the egg inside of your bowl. Isn't that beautiful? Now, because of the quantity that I'm making today, I will be using 2 eggs, not just 1. So let's crack it open there. Beautiful. Let all that nice egg white drain out into your bowl. And, oh shit, okay, I'll try and get this off as quickly as... Oh, fucking hell. Alright, okay. Perfect. Not cracked at all. Let's spoon that off there. Oh, that is weirdly satisfying to do that. There we are. Now look at that stuff in there. Okay, and next you're going to want to add your definitely not branded mustard to the mix. Now it says on like some of the recipes that I'm following to do a tablespoon. That feels like quite a lot. However, as famous chef Colette in the movie Ratatouille said, always follow the recipe. Next you want to add your salt, pepper, and the lemon juice. We're just going to dab a little bit of that in, and of course, as always, season to taste. But make sure you always season, because there's nothing worse than unseasoned food. Pepper. And of course, now we whisk. Okay, next what you want to do is, as you're whisking, you want to do it very carefully, but you want to slowly drip feed
the oil in. Now you want to do this very slowly and like combine it over time, because otherwise it just doesn't work really. At least that's what I've been told. Who knows? They might just be gatekeeping all of this information. But yeah, you want to just stir it constantly and just make sure that you're whisking very well. Then just add in a little bit more at a time. And if you're not three-handed, unlike, you know, most people, then this might be a little bit of a challenging feat to try and juggle and balance it all. So you just want to make sure that you're careful not to knock it on the floor like I have done in the past. But yeah, as you're whisking, make sure that it's all combining, and then just keep pouring. Leave that for a bit, just make sure it all whisks in properly. Oh, look at that. You can already see it getting to a more whitish kind of looking mayonnaise already. Oh, it's already getting thick and gloopy now. There's a little more in. Now, it's important to remember when you're working with these ingredients, there is raw egg involved, so make sure that there are no shells in when you're doing it, because you don't want a crunchy meal. That's for the bones and meat afterwards. So yeah. But yeah, around this point you'll notice it's getting very thick and gloopy. I hope that's all right. I don't have any knowledge to back this up because this is the first time I'm doing it. I'm going to try practice one like last time. So I'm getting better at this kind of stuff, right? It's better to do it like that, right? That's alright, because no pain, you need to that's what Sensei is. It's the best mayonnaise you've ever eaten. Oh my god, I really hope this is good, because I'm not enough.
Alright, and there you go. And of course, once you've done that, it's time for you to put your mayonnaise in the jar. Now, from what I've read online, it recommends a couple hours to keep in the fridge before you actually try and eat it. So I thought in that time I would give you a brief rundown of the history of mayonnaise. Mayonnaise was first invented in America in 1952 by a man called Mayonnaise. Now, as you can probably tell, Naise was a mayor, and he was the mayor of Naise, hence the name Mayor of Naise. He invented the original quality that we know because he loved eggs so much, but he also loved oil. You see, he was making his fortune in the oil mining business and made quite a lot of money exploiting workers. So he decided that the best way to make a profit whilst also making the passion was through eggs. Hence why to this day we make eggs with oil. Eggs don't actually require the oil to become mayonnaise. They just kind of like doing it. They don't actually fuse to the oil. They actually absorb the essence and joy that you get out of swigging oil. Now, the mayonnaise civil war of 1974 was actually a very bloody conflict. Mayonnaise is actually the best kind of lube to use whilst having vaginal sex. Did you know that in 2007, after using mayonnaise for lube, a woman actually contracted parasites within her stomach? These caused her to have an orgasm every 5 seconds until the tapeworms were removed. She regretted this decision. Mayonnaise has many chemical compounds that make it the perfect air conditioner to use after a shower. This makes your house it also attracts nature towards you. Now, the Boer War was actually very influential on the production of mayonnaise, as usually Africa was the best place to harvest the perfect kind of chicken to make the perfect kind of mayonnaise. Now, this required a lot of dead baby. Now that is good mayonnaise. This is probably the best thing that I've cooked in years at this point. You know, ever since the that cooking with Jack video, I've only been able to make his recipes because whenever I make a video, the last thing I made is the only thing I can make until I make another one. So that's actually why I've been doing all of this, so that I don't have to make the Cooking with Jack show stuff. And you know, the raw egg thing, that was really useful as well. Like freezing an egg was fucking priceless. You know, just let it thaw out and then cook it in the sun, it's great. You know, it's not like I'm trapped or anything. You know, I could leave whenever I want, as long as Steve lets me, but, you know, it's fine. I've got nothing to worry about, you know. Then if I did, I'd make sure I'd let you guys know that I'm trapped against my will, against an extraplanar being that I have no control over. You know, I'll probably, blink a couple times and, you know, just make sure that you guys know that I'm safe and fine. You know, I'd never do that for you guys, you know. Everything's good now. Mayonnaise is actually the best kind of lube to use whilst having vaginal sex. The way that the mayonnaise binds to the insides of a woman actually makes them more turned on. On top of this, no.